complete, a safe place to be at night, and have supports. The schoolhouse does offer that. Offers supports, whether it's housing supports, home supports, harm reduction supports, provides home for people. Not everyone's ready to, move on to independent housing. Not everyone can go to next door-based shelter. Not everyone, and we don't want to see more people out on the street outside. This is why the schoolhouse is a really, really important shelter. Sure, there can be some improvements done in terms of the renovations and things like that, but that's okay. And we want to let the city know, we want to let Dixon Hall know that this is a really important organization. And I believe next May we're going to be all at council to demonstrate and to protest the closure of the schoolhouse. So I'm just glad to see there's a big turnout and that people are here to protest this really poorly devised concept of closing this, and it's a conservative measure. It's a measure also that speaks to the whole process of gentrification in this neighborhood in downtown Toronto, and forgets to address the issues of people who have a substance use, and also goes against all the concerns we have against the incredible long list of housing, affordable housing that Dixon and Barrie spoke to. This is just yet another opportunity to shut this population out, and we won't stand for it. So thank you all for coming here, and let's keep fighting.
Yeah, drop the rope.
Thanks, Ann.
You guys.
And just before I call Kathy, a very quick a reminder that on May 23rd, the issue of the schoolhouse is going to be discussed at City Hall. We want everybody that can make it there at 9:30 in the morning to go. We'll have some leaflets in terms of where we're going to be when we go, but it's really, really important for people to keep that date because that's the day that the report comes out. We want Kristen to come on side, and hopefully she will. Okay, so next speaker is Kathy Crow.
Hi everybody. So we all know that the schoolhouse works. Okay, those of us that have been working in the field for a long time, we always know that if we could get someone into the schoolhouse, they were on a better path. They were going to do much, much better. And for people I've met on the street, they all say proudly, almost like a badge of honor, yeah, I know someone that was in there and they did really, really well. So we all know it works. But now we're going to get a report from City Hall from the bureaucrats. And they're the same bureaucrats. You don't want to know how long they've been working at City Hall, actually. Some of them 25 years. And you know what? They're the same bureaucrats that said when Tent City was evicted, oh, don't worry, there's hundreds of empty beds in the shelter system. And they're the same bureaucrats that year after year after year said, we've got enough shelter beds, the shelters are fine, we don't need any more warming centers or cooling centers, everything's fine. And they're the same bureaucrats that hid the fact that tuberculosis had returned in the shelter system. And they're the same bureaucrats that after like 25 years still let church basements open to provide shelter for people instead of real shelter beds. So what we've got to call for in May at that committee is we have to insist that they understand that this place works. It's harm reduction. It's not about measuring how much alcohol is in the cup. It's not about deciding whether it's a rooming house or transitional housing. They're using language to argue for its closure, and we're not going to let it shut, okay? Because it works. And we have to call on some of the neighboring agencies around here to be brave and to come that day and say it works and keep it open. And the city and Dixon Hall should invite a select group in from OCAP, Stop the Cuts, maybe the Harm Reduction Task Force, invite them in for a proper tour. And they should develop a plan that if Dixon Hall is not going to run it again, they invite another agency to run it, because somebody else will. And they should develop a plan to get the funding to do the repairs inside. It's all possible, and we want Kristen, the local councillor, to fight for us to keep it open. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy. Our next speaker is Peter Leslie. Peter, are you around? From the Harm Reduction Coalition. Thanks, Peter.
You did good. You did good. Oh, I did. I already ate.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for
I eat
showing
mine
up.
quick.
It's not all about the burgers today. We all know that. So this facility has helped many of us move on, as well as 60 Richmond, which was another site that was closed by Dixon Hall several years ago. Interesting in the Star earlier this week, an editorial was about largely about the safe injection site issue. But right in the middle of the editorial, this facility was mentioned, the schoolhouse. And so it appears we have the media on board as well, and they're aware of this issue in the public realm. And we just need City Council and Dixon Hall to get on board with this as well. Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Peter. We're going to take a bit of a break from speakers right now, put the music back on. The food is being cooked as we speak, so we'll be back in about 20 minutes or so.